America, the land of freedom, the land of opportunity, and the land of basketball. A sport that started in a YMCA gym in Springfield, Massachusetts. A sport that is held deeply in American culture. A sport where no other countries could ever hope to keep up. But not anymore. For decades, America had completely dominated the sphere of basketball. Yet it seems like European countries are now standing eye to eye. The best players in the NBA are no longer American. Team USA is no longer blowing out countries by 50. They're fighting as equals, not superiors. This has been quite the unexpected shift. After all, football is Europe's main sport by a mile, and it always has been. You could even make the case that basketball isn't even their top 5 biggest sport. Handball, tennis, rugby, even cycling have the same, if not more fans and players than basketball. So how is it that countries who don't even care about the sport are taking over the country who play it the most? Well, this isn't as recent as you would think. Europeans have been good at basketball for quite a while now. The first European to be drafted was this guy, a 7'2" French player who was, in all honesty, kinda drafted as a joke. But the first European player to make a real impact was Drazen Petrovic. Now, hardcore NBA fans would know that this guy wasn't just a random creation. He was a European legend. Nicknamed the Mozart of basketball, Drazen was pretty much Steph Curry before Steph Curry, arguably the best shooter in the league at the time, and widely respected for being a European that never backed down. He even dropped 40 on Michael Jordan himself, earning his respect and becoming one of the best scorers in the league. It seemed like Drazen was on the path to greatness, a rising star who was really making a name for himself, but unfortunately passed away in a car accident in 1993. Drazen's legacy lives on as one of the best shooters we've ever seen, but never being able to show the world his true potential. He became the first symbol for European basketball, proving that they could in fact challenge the best in the world. NBA scouts now started paying more attention to European basketball, realizing that there was a lot of elite talent overseas. Tony Parker from France won 4 championships and a Finals MVP. Dirk Nowitzki from Germany was an MVP and a champion, beating prime LeBron and Miami super teams to win one of the best championships ever. Pau Gasol from Spain was the key piece that won the Lakers 2 championships and solidified Kobe's legacy. And all of this was just on the side. They were dominating the football world even more. And now we're at a point where the best players in the NBA are European. Jokic, Luka, and Giannis have been at the top for a while now. But what actually makes European players so special? Well, America and Europe have some pretty big cultural differences, especially in regards to basketball. American basketball is all about athleticism, scoring, and flashy plays. In general, entertainment is what the people want. In Europe, this isn't really the case. The biggest reason why NBA teams were not fond of choosing European players was because they were nowhere near as athletic. I mean, look at Jokic and Luka. They don't even look like professional athletes. But that's exactly where the difference lies. They value fundamentals, ball movement, defense, and methodical basketball. This is how Jokic and Luka dominate the NBA, even though they're much slower and less athletic than everyone else. Even the way they develop prospects is completely different. The main path in America is high school and college basketball, where you are ranked based on how good you are. In Europe, that doesn't exist. They don't have any sports teams in schools. All the club sports and academies are outside of school. Comparing AAU to European academies, you can clearly see the difference. Club basketball in America is sometimes pointless, with virtually no defense being played and everyone farming for highlight reels. And it's because of this that AAU is often criticized. European academies are structured and enforce more discipline. They don't care about cameras or showing off, they care about winning. Kids also go pro way earlier, with the average age for pro debuts being 16 to 18, while in America it's 19 to 22. This early exposure to professional competition is what helps them transition so well. While in Europe, kids are being taught technical skills and team-oriented basketball, American kids are taught to crash out and go viral. And this even goes all the way to their highest respected leagues as well. Now, the EuroLeague is actually better than what most people think. They are easily the second best basketball league in the world. It's not even close. A systematic style, where defense is actually played and slow-paced offense is what's taught. But there's a reason why a majority of you watching right now have never watched a EuroLeague game. If you compare it to the NBA, it is less entertaining. but that doesn't mean their way of basketball is bad. From 2003 to 2016, EuroLeague teams faced off against NBA teams 62 times, winning 12 games while the NBA teams won 50. Now I know that doesn't sound all that impressive, but this was from 2003 to 2016, back when it was well established that the NBA was number one and had way more talent. Also, the best EuroLeague players often went to the NBA because they made more money there, but if they had stayed, then these numbers might have looked different. The most notable wins came in 2010, when Barcelona beat the back-to-back reigning champion Lakers, whose second-best player actually developed in Barcelona. In 2014, Alba Berlin beat a fully healthy San Antonio Spurs team, who just won a championship. And this wasn't a random Spurs team either. This was one of the best NBA teams of all time. The NBA statistically has a way higher chance of winning, but the fact that EuroLeague teams have already beat NBA champions in their own turf makes me wonder if we really should call them world champions. Right now, it's by far the best European basketball has ever been, and we all know the gap has gotten smaller and smaller. Still don't believe me? Let's take a look at the Olympics. Now, last year's Olympics were different, especially with Team USA. They have pretty much always dominated the entire world, but in the past 3 years, they faced way more competition. For the first time in a while, they took it very seriously, assembling the best possible roster to prove that they are the champions of the world. This was one of the most laser-focused teams they ever had. The Avengers were expected to dominate everyone, because the USA is actually trying now. But that isn't really what happened. Although they won a gold medal and many Americans celebrated, deep down they knew that their dominance as the undisputed number one won't last much longer. The Olympics sent a message to the USA. The world is coming. Now the NBA is still number one. There's no denying that. But the faces of the best basketball league in the world are now European. 30 years ago, that would be unbelievable to hear. It felt like the USA would always be at the top, that no one else can even match with them. But now they can. Team USA needed every bit of firepower down to the last wire to win. So how is it that despite all the funding for basketball programs, courts around every block, and every kid growing up playing basketball, that the Europeans, who grew up playing football and with much less funding, are somehow producing the same, if not even better NBA talent? Well, it's simple. They just play better basketball. Greg Popovich, who's one of the best NBA coaches ever, made the San Antonio Spurs the single most winningest team of all time. Their style was always highly praised, with Spurs basketball becoming a phrase used when a team plays perfect basketball. To the average fan, they were pretty boring to watch, but at the end of the day, they were winning. And Greg Popovich adopted this style from none other than the European teams. So the NBA franchise with the best win percentage of all time played European-style basketball. That's all that needs to be said. There's no denying that everyone in America does everything for money, and slow fundamental basketball doesn't bring in the cash. There's a reason why the NBA changed its rules and gave offense so much freedom. There's a reason they call phantom fouls so every player can average 30. More highlights, more money. This has been the American culture for so long, but across the Atlantic Ocean, they don't do that. Over there, they play for passion, not for money. They play to win, not to get a highlight. And that's precisely why many coaches deem their basketball to be superior. The sport has truly gone global, with countries all over the world embracing the game like never before. It's still America's sport, but as the years go by, we might see another nation come out on top sooner than we think. I want to see the EuroLeague play against the NBA again. After all, times have changed. There's more talent in Europe than ever before, and I think that many people would be surprised. But I also feel like the NBA stopped holding these exhibition games because they're a bit afraid. Afraid that if they let their guard down, afraid that if they slip and fall, people might question if the NBA really is the best league in the world.